Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge that I live, learn, work, and play on the traditional unceded territory of the Pentlatch First Nations, and that I am still an uninvited guest in their homeland. Gillikasla. Welcome. My name is Meaningless, and this is my new series called Where to Go on Vancouver Island, a series where I will check out different parks and other places on this majestic island where I was raised on. I decided to explore Heritage Forest first because I was sitting at home twiddling my thumbs, bored and wanted to go somewhere. So I went on to Google Maps to explore and I found Heritage Forest. So I decided to go there. I cleaned myself up and headed out the door, excited for what this adventure may bring. I knew nothing about this park. I didn't even know it existed before that day. So, what is Heritage Forest anyways? The forest is located next to Qualicum Beach's Memorial Golf Course on Crescent East Road, spanning roughly 50 acres. Heritage Forest contains some trademarks of VI's beautiful outdoor scenery, such as lush green and brown foliage decorated with old-growth trees such as western red cedar, Douglas firs, hemlock, grand fir, and Sitka spruce, with spongy moss and lichens plastering the trees and basically everywhere else. But the forest makes no attempt to hide from its past, with tree stumps and logs laying like corpses across the park, with signs posted detailing what had happened. The park was part of the economic engine of the island, the logging industry, though only for a brief period during the 1910s and a bit earlier. According to the forest's homepage, I kid you not, the forest was first bought by Brigadier General Noel Money in 1913, and money indeed this park has been surrounded with for much of history since then. The property was then bought by Bobby Brown in 1954, where I quote, "The family used it as a weekend retreat and summer home, housing the Brown Mansion, where affluent people such as the King of Thailand and John Wayne, the actor, visited." 1995 would spell a potential disaster for the forest, as when the Brown Family Trust decided to sell the property, turning it into 110 building lots, just like the surrounding properties. It was said that Ann Cleese, who is just known as a local resident, was walking along the road when she noticed a paper detailing the forest's future prospects. With the help of her husband and their neighbors, they formed the Brown Property Preservation Society, whose mission was to save the forest and now actively takes part in maintaining the forest and control non-native invasive species. With the help of the town's parks budget, they were able to purchase the property at $1,835,000. Damn. Designating it to the title of an environmentally protected land. That's the essential history of this park since colonial times. Before then, this park wasn't even a park. It was just part of the massive forest of Vancouver Island. I'll now read from one of the signs in the park that was titled Western Red Cedar Bark Stripped Culturally Modified Tree, CMT. It says, "Trees have stories, and here is living archaeology, showing indigenous forest utilization by the Pentlatch peoples, likely a very long time ago. Red cedar bark Stripping was a task most often carried out by women. A tall, straight tree, about 2 or 3 hands wide and without knots on that face, was selected. Space to back up away while pulling bark uphill from the tree was best. A prayer was given as a show of respect and thanks to the tree's spirit as a provider. A cut was made at the bottom, then bark was pried away enough to get a good grip. She then held the free end, walking backwards away from the tree to pull off a long V-shaped ribbon of bark. Bark inner and outer layers were separated, dried, shredded, and skillfully processed depending on its end use. Cedar bark providing clothing, baskets, roping, mats, blankets, masts, and many other uses, often incorporating intricate design and artistry. It said. Alright, and now, here's the end of this video. Here it comes. As I ended my journey through this park, I started thinking how beautiful and how strong it is, housing so much biodiversity and protecting some of the last old-growth trees in the world. This park, like many others, such as the Stanley Park in New York, sit awkwardly inside urbanization, a pocket of nature surrounded by steel and cement. It is truly remarkable that parks like these still exist. I know British Columbians tend to be seen as more eco-conscious, but how could you not, when a park like Heritage Forest is usually just right next door? We've made it to the end of this video. Thank you all for watching if you've made it this far. This is a new kind of video I'm trying out. I understand it's not the most professional, but to be honest, I start off strong and passionate like so many people starting on projects, but I just get a bit bored or just lose interest in it, so that's why there's not as much editing and not as much retakes. Most of what I've said in here is either my first or third retake, because honestly, I'm not one to do things professionally. I do this very casually, and I try to have fun with it. But I just wanted to get this video done. I've been working on this since November, and I will be publishing this on the 20th or 21st, because I'm recording this at 3 p.m. right now on the December 20th. So we'll see. But yeah, I had fun exploring Heritage Forest. Heritage Forest is quite a beautiful park that like I said, I simply was not aware of, and I did this by myself because like so many other people, I spend too much time inside and not enough time exploring and just being filled with wonder and being in nature. And I think this was a really big stimulus, a really big moment for me. And I'm not too sure if I'm going to continue this series. There are a few parks I'm interested in doing, but I don't know. I was watching a YouTuber the other day, and here we go, sideways video. I'm not even gonna correct this. What I originally tried to do in this was just twist the camera sideways to see how it looks. And honestly, visually, if I just rotated this 90 degrees, it would be a much better. I think it would look so much better as a hamburger instead of a hot dog style. But that's something to do in the future. But anyways, I was watching this YouTuber who clickbaited. I met Jacksepticeye and it was awful. A video titled something like that. But it was actually, Jacksepticeye was actually quite nice. But she talked about how she picks up these hobbies or routines, and she drops them very quickly. And I'm very much the same way, where I'll just do something that breaks me out of my routine, and I think I'll be very interested in it, but then get bored and move on to something else. And it's very difficult to develop expertise if you never really commit your time to commit. And that's something I'm wanting to work on more, is to have more consistency. But we'll see what comes of this. But thank you all for watching, if you've made it this far again. And like, subscribe. What did my script say? Let's find it. Here we go. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for my 16 subscribers and everyone else who watches and likes my videos. Those numbers really fuel my dopamine. So, if you want to give me a dopamine rush, like eating pure sugar, like and subscribe. We'll see if I make another video. Bye-bye, is what I said, so probably should end it here. Bye-bye.